Good morning, Jackednnerdy fans. Welcome to my non-spoiler review for the new horror suspense film, Maxxine. As always, before I jump into that review, make sure you hit that subscribe button, so that way you guys never miss out on a video. And if you do enjoy our content, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It doesn't cost you a thing and it supports the channel immensely. So, as always, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So, I didn't see a lot of promo material for this film. I think I saw the very first trailer for it only about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It very much skated under the radar for me. But when I saw the trailer for the first time, I thought that really looks like a really interesting film. Set in the 1980s in Hollywood, when sex, drugs, everything was on the table. So I thought, yeah, count me in. I was very, very interested in it. Little did I know, this film is actually a sequel. So directed by Ty West and starring Mia Goth. This is actually, in very much many ways, a sequel to the film X. I've wanted to see X, but in full transparency, I haven't actually seen it yet. But that being said, if you haven't seen X, that's okay. You still very much follow the story, the plot. It's not one of those films where you have to have seen the first film in order to understand what's going on in the second. You could very easily watch this film with no knowledge of X and still understand what's going on and still enjoy the ride. I mean, I did, so that's telling you a lot. But basically, this film is a follow-on or a sequel to X. As I said, starring Mia Goth. It's got Elizabeth Debicki, Lily Collins, Sophie Thatcher. It really does actually have an all-star cast, because you've also got the likes of Kevin Bacon, Michelle Monaghan, who I adore, as well as Kevin Bacon. Giancarlo Esposito, who I absolutely adore as well. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. I really liked his character in this. And you got Bobby Cannavale. Top to bottom, there are lots of awesome little cameos along the way as well with this film. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love films set back in the 80s, around the time of, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I was born early in the 1980s, and unfortunately I was too young to remember any of it or experience any of it. I often wish I could have been a teenager back in the hair metal days. But look, this film is really, really quite good. It's a very, very low budget film. Only had a budget of $7.8 million, which I think is absolutely incredible for the quality of the film. It is very much shot, though. Don't let that fool you. It is very much shot in the style of a B grade film. It's not shot in the way that a A-list Hollywood film is shot. It's very much shot as an a B-grade kind of film, but that adds to the quality of the film. It's very reminiscent. If you like, sorry, my dog's here with me. If you like the grindhouse style films like Terror Planet, Death Proof. Films like that, or if you like the A24 style of low budget art house films like X and Pearl, and I Saw the TV Glow, things like that. Also, there was a recent movie, Love Lies Bleeding, which is again set in the same kind of time period of the 80s. In the female bodybuilding scene. So all of these kinds of films are very much shot in the style of the kind of the B-grade art house films. So if you enjoy those types of films, this one's right up your alley. You're going to love it. As I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I think it was really, really good. I don't really know what else I can say without giving away spoilers. Basically, I mean, if you haven't seen the trailer, it's basically, as I said, set in the 1980s in Hollywood. There's an adult film star who's trying to transition from the adult film industry into mainstream Hollywood. Gets her breakout role in the horror side, but then there's also that backdrop of the 1980s crime sprees and serial killers and things like that. So, I mean, you could almost be mistaken in thinking this is almost a biopic telling the events of something that actually happened. They've done a really good job of making it appear that way, but it's a what you would call a fictional characters and a fictional story in the backdrop of actual events that happened back in the 80s. So as I said, you could very easily be mistaken in thinking that this is kind of telling the story of actual events and what have you. Mia Goth did a fantastic job. I'm not the biggest Mia Goth fan, but I think she did do a fantastic job in this film. I'm interested to see where her career goes from here, because I think if she continues to play these kinds of roles, she is very much going to be typecast, and kind of find herself stuck in this genre. But fingers crossed moving forward. I mean, because I do think she can have a very bright future. It just depends on how the next few years go. So let's just wait and see. Anyway, so look, this is just going to be a very quick review today. As I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. It's got an IMDB score of 6.9 out of 10 and a 74% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to lean a little bit towards the IMDB. Look, I enjoyed the film and everything. Rewatchability is there, but I'm... it's not something that I'm going to race to see. I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. So I'm leaning more towards the IMDB than the Rotten Tomatoes score. But I still enjoyed it. I want to know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of Maxine. I'd be interested to know your thoughts and opinions. I do read all the comments, so make sure you leave a comment in the below the video. As always, guys, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. I'll catch you at the next video, which will be a review for Twisters. So until then, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.